A passenger plane left Iowa and flew east. A fighter aircraft left 1 hour later, flying at 300 kilometers per hour in an effort to catch up to the passenger plane. After flying for 9 hours, the fighter aircraft finally caught up. Find the passenger plane's average speed. Okay, so let's say that a brand new passenger plane took off from the Des Moines International Airport and it's flying east. And before all that, a fighter pilot at the airport wanted to know how long will it take him to catch up to this new passenger plane using his brand new aircraft. So, as soon as the passenger plane took off from the airport, the fighter pilot waited an hour at the airport and then he took off. As the fighter pilot was flying in the clear blue sky as you see on the screen for several hours at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour, he finally got up to this new passenger plane. He recorded that it took him 9 hours to catch up to this new passenger plane. But now he wants to know, what was the plane's average speed? Okay, to solve this, let me take out my Galaxy pen. I'm going to write this formula here. We'll start off with this formula. D means distance, equals means equal, S means speed, and T means time. And we're going to make one change to this formula. Let me grab another marker here. I'm going to use red. Actually, I'm going to use black. I'm going to change that S to an X. And you're like, wait, Jensine, why an X? Okay. The S looks like a 5. It'll confuse me. It'll probably confuse you when we start doing the math problem. So let's just keep it simple. You can use any letter variable you want. In this case, I want to use the X one. So now let me just finish writing out the formula. Alrighty, so we have our distance. Just make sure that you know that the X or whatever letter variable you use, know that it's your speed, okay? So my X is my speed, and then T is your time, all right? And based on the passage, oh, you know what? Let's give these simple names. I don't want to be calling passenger plane all the time and fighter aircraft all the time. Let's just give it some simple names here. Plane, right? And jet. And based on the passage, we know that there's two distances, right? The jet is going one distance, which is east, and the plane is also going one distance, which is east. And we can write this as D1 equals D2. And you're like, wait, Jensine, what do you mean equals between those D1 and D2? And the equal means, like the pilot was saying earlier in the passage, it was like, hey, I want to know how long will it take me to reach the plane, right? So at some point, the jet or the fighter pilot will reach the plane, right? And that's what that E equals means, okay? Alrighty, we know that D equals XT, right? Let's just write that here so we know. We don't forget. And those belongs to those, right? This belongs to this, and this belongs to that, okay? Alrighty. Another thing we didn't do is label the distances. It doesn't matter which one goes first, which one takes number 1, number 2. I'll just give this one 2, this one 1, and we're done, okay? And I'll start with D2 just because we know the speed of the jet, right? We have the speed. So let me go ahead and start simplifying that. So 300 kilometers per hour. And then we know it was out there for 9 hours, right? It took 9 hours for the jet to catch the plane, to catch up. Okay, 1. And then I'm going to use red to cancel my common factors, right? It's going to leave me with 300 times 9. What is 300 times 9? You're left off with kilometers, right? Left off with the kilometers. So your answer will be 2,700 kilometers. Perfect. We took care of D2. Now let's go to D1. D1 is the plane, and we don't know the speed, which is what the passage is wanting you to do. Find the passenger plane's average speed. In this case, we're calling it plane, okay? So we don't know the plane speed, but we do know the time, right? Let's write that here. And you're like, wait a minute, why there's a 1 hour inside those brackets? Well, remember the fighter pilot was hanging out at the airport for 1 hour? That's why there's an hour there. Because it was 1 hour and then the time, which it took 9 hours for the pilot or the fighter jet pilot to catch up to the plane or the passenger plane, right? So let's plug those in. That gives you 10 hours, right? And let's go ahead and solve it. I'm going to get x alone. Those cancels out. So 2,700 divided by 10 should give you, will give you, so there you go. Now you know the speed of the plane. It's 270 kilometers per hour. So every hour, the plane covers 270 kilometers. Pretty cool, right? And all this makes sense. I mean, you can plug this x right into the top equation. Let me draw the arrow. You can pretty much plug that in there with the time, and it's going to give you an answer of, let's solve that together. Do it here. Oops. That should give you 2,700 kilometers. Isn't that the same as what we got? Let me get my Galaxy pen. I love the Galaxy pen. Isn't this the same as that? Right? That means D1 equals D2. Both distances will equal 2,700 kilometers. Pretty cool, right? So here you go. You learn how to solve this problem. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and enjoy.